Okay, welcome to part two, using the quadratic equation or formula to solve quadratics. So you can see this is an equation I made up, 2x squared plus 12x minus 2 equals 0. Remember, the number in front of the x squared is our a, the number in front of our x is our b, and the standalone constant, negative 2, is our c value. So what we're going to do is everywhere we see a in the formula, we're going to substitute 2. Everywhere we see b in the formula, we're going to substitute 12. And everywhere we see c in the formula, we're going to substitute the negative 2. And it should look something like this. Step 1, substitute values into the formula, right? So it should look something similar to what you see here, right? So our b value was 12, right? So I'd like to actually show you both of these here. So our b value, and again, this is a video, you can rewind it if you need to look at those values again. But our b value, right, our b value was 12. So I'm going to substitute 12 everywhere I see b. Our a value was 2. So I'm going to substitute a 2 everywhere I see a in the formula. And our c value was a negative 2, so I'll substitute negative 2 for c. I wanted you to see that here. And now once we get to this point, we're going to just follow the order of operations, right? Follow PEMDAS. So you do parentheses first. So inverse or opposite of parentheses is the square root. So you're going to do everything inside the square root first, right? Starting with the exponents, then multiplying. And then we'll multiply the denominator. And then finally we will end up adding or subtracting. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next page. Moving forward, we have all our values here substituted. Okay, so I wanted to show you that 12 squared, remember we're doing everything inside the radical, 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. So I simplify one step at a time. So 12 squared is 144. Okay, next what I would like to do is multiply negative 4 times a positive 2, which is negative 8, and then that negative 8 times that negative 2, negative and a negative make a positive 16. So everything here I can substitute for a positive 16. So 144 plus 16, or plus a positive 16. And again, if I'm going too fast, this is a video. You can rewind it at any time. So let's continue to work inside the radical. 144 plus 16 is 160. So that's 160 inside the square root value. So that's where we're at here. Again, one step at a time. One step at a time. So continuing on, we have left off here. We're going to simplify the radical. So simplifying 160, the square root of 160 manually. So let me show you how to do that manually. Right? So we're going to look for the least common multiples of 160. I know 2 times 80 is 160. I know 2 times 40 is 80. I know 2 times 20 is 40. I know 2 times 10 is 20. And 2 times 5 is 10. So inside the radical, instead of writing 160, you can break it down 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, right, will equal 160. Now, in order to simplify the radical, you need a perfect pairs or perfect squares to pull out just one value. So I have 2 pairs of 2s, so I can pull out 2 2s. What you do is there's an invisible 1 in front of the radical, so 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4. And what's left on the inside, the little loners, you multiply 2 times 5 is 10. So we have square root of 10, 4 times the square root of 10. Moving on, we're going to continue to simplify. So we have negative 12, x equals negative 12, excuse me. Let me get this organized here, there we go. So showing you as we continue forward, we have x equals negative 12 plus or minus 4 times the square root of 10. That was the square root of 160 simplified. It's both plus and minus. That's a negative 12. And then 2 times 2 in the denominator was 4. So I did that step earlier. So we have both plus and minus. So that's what I'm showing you here, right? It's negative 12 plus 4 times the square root of 10 divided by 4. That's what I'm showing you here. And then it's negative 12 minus 4 times the square root of 10 divided by 4, which I'm showing you here. And both of these values, we're going to continue to simplify. So let's continue to the next page, and we will simplify a little bit further in showing you that 4 in the denominator's place under both of those terms, you can separate and you can make a fraction out of both of those terms with the 4 being in your denominator's place. Same thing with the minus. So here we can simplify further. Negative 12 divided by 4 is a negative 3. Positive 4 divided by 4 is a 1 times the square root of 10. And then we do the same thing here. We have negative 12 divided by 4. Remember, this is the minus. Negative 12 divided by 4 is a negative 3. And then there's the minus. Minus 4 divided by 4 is 1 times the square root of 10. So this is part 2 of how to use that quadratic formula in order to factor quadratics. I hope this has been helpful. Look out for video number 3. I've got another example.